It's clear that agriculture, done right, is the best means the world has today to simultaneously tackle food security, poverty, and environmental degradation. The words of former CEO of Mondelez International, a world-renowned food and beverages giant, Irene Rosenfeld. They ring true of every society currently dealing with the challenges of food security, poverty, and environmental degradation, especially in developing countries like Nigeria. Apart from guaranteeing food security, tackling poverty and reversing environmental degradation, it has become clear that agriculture done right is key to ensuring social cohesion and security, especially in a multi-ethnic society like Nigeria. This point is abundantly proved by Nigeria's unending and deadly herdsmen and farmers' crisis in many parts of the country. A phenomenon that is not only threatening the country's bid for agricultural resurgence and food sufficiency, but also national peace and security. The negative impact of herdsmen farmers' crisis on Nigeria's agricultural resurgence is our concern this week on Farmers Market, as we visit Benue State, which seems to have become the epicenter of the crisis. Farmers Market, a program that promotes Nigeria's agricultural prowess, identifies the challenges besetting the sector, and advocates policies and programs that will help grow Nigeria's agro-economy. Varieties of highly nutritious rice in Abakaliki, Ofada, Kano, yet Nigeria wastes billions on rice importation.
Cocoa in the southwest, and yet top dollar is spent on imported chocolate and beverages.
Fruits rot in Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, yet imported juice line the shops.
82 million hectares of rich arable land, yet no jobs, and food insecurity threatens.
Real wealth is in farming, livestock, hatcheries, fisheries, horticulture, and forestry.
It's time to act different.
Time to bring Nigerian farmers to the markets.
Farmers Market, growing Nigeria's agro-economy.
Showing every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. and Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. on AIT.
This is Bajimba, the headquarters of Guma local government area of Benue State. The Benue State Governor Samuel Otom hails from here. Bajimba is ordinarily a quiet farming community which buzzes only on market days when farmers from surrounding rural areas bring their agricultural produce to the market. However, in recent times, the town has been buzzing with human traffic because it is playing host to villagers from hinterlands displaced by herdsmen attacks. The displaced persons are housed in the Bajimba Primary School premises, just a stone throw from the town center. Men, women, children, in their hundreds, mainly farming families which fled herdsmen raids in different villages across Guma local government area, abandoning their homes, farms and other belongings.
The displacers. You can see as I'm washing my car, the help of the local, the community. You see, it combined about 15 sacks are put together with 37 bags of soybean. Then they disperse it. Look at that is the retreating I carried from my house.
Explain, how did it happen? Were these with the soybeans in your
We don't know what is happening. The Fulani herdsmen, they just come and displace us in our house.
They have nothing to eat, and as you are seeing her with these clothes and the one that she tied on her neck, that is what she used to sleep on. Then she has nothing to eat.
These are the lucky ones. Others could not make it out.
They killed one person in our house at that day, very particular day, because this person that they killed him, he put his guinea corn in the farm, and this thing happened. The women are calling us to go because they have been attacked in the farm. Then he rushed to go and carry the corn to the house, and then after they see him, then they kill him.
The camp has been filling up since the December 31st, 2017 attacks in the local government area, with most of them here for over 3 weeks, along with a few of the belongings they could manage while fleeing the latest herdsmen attacks on their villages.
That one day, as I went by, I see them coming with gun. Now I make me around camp here.
Did everybody in your village leave?
As now?
Yeah.
No, there's no anybody there.
In the village?
We're all coming here, all. We come here all. Nobody dead bush.
We shared boundary with Nasarawa. My village is at Akko. So when they reached there, immediately they got there. They entered our farm. And that the first farm they entered, it was my own. So they started cutting down the guinea corns, burning all the surrounding that we kept in the farm. And anything that they see containing food, then they started eating it, destroying it anyhow. Some they would just destroy, bend like that. So my elder brothers told us to leave. Then we started taking our refuge.
Onduna Uhie is just 2 weeks old. Born less than a week after his mother, Monica Uhie, arrived at the Bajimba camp. The only home he knows, at least for now. Even the physically challenged are not spared the ordeal. This is Victor. He too had to run for dear life along with his wife and children. How did you escape?
I trekked from my village to here.
Do you know how many kilometers it is?
It's about 27 kilometers.
Did you have help? Or you were there?
No.
By yourself?
Yes.
How did you find your way?
I have a help because I'm with my wife. My wife hold my stick. That the very day that I left, the kid, one of my brothers. That's why I left.
Rations provided by the Benue State government and shelter in these bare classrooms are the only dignities enjoyed by the displaced persons. The government was making effort to provide water at the camp when Farmers Market visited. A downcast Governor Samuel Otom visits the camp to sympathize with the displaced persons. His demeanor speaks volumes of the stress of dealing with the crisis and the fact that patience is fast running out.
There is no going back on this law. No going back on it. If they are thinking that they will frighten us and then we'll budge out, they are liars. That will not happen. And the people have given me an ultimatum that if government does not come in, they will defend themselves. All along I'm suppressing them, that let no one take laws into his hand. They have given me an ultimatum. Federal government must come in and provide security for these people.
The Bajimba Primary School is just one of the 6 centers across the state where displaced persons are being housed. There are 2 others in Guma local government area alone. This is one of them, built with the assistance of international donors in 2011 to provide shelter for people displaced by floods. However, in recent times, it has become a major camp for victims of herdsmen attacks.
So it's a total of 6 camps now.
6 camps?
Yes, 6. We have one in Daudu, one in Bajimba, where I'm talking to you now, and then one in Seginde. That is 3 in Guma local government. And then one in Angin, one in Uba, and then there is another location still in Logo, known as Abeda. People are also there.
Do we have an idea of a number of people who are displaced?
Yeah, registered number of displaced persons is over 60,000. It is difficult to give these statistics because even as we have registered these people, more people are coming. Given that the attacks have not stopped. Even 4 days back, there was an attack close by here. 5 persons were killed. They have not even been buried.
Apart from Boko Haram, the raids by rampaging herdsmen on farming communities in many parts of the country has become the biggest security challenge confronting Nigeria today. In time past, the attacks were confined to a few parts of the northeast and north central. But today, almost every part of the country has experienced the deadly raids of the marauding herdsmen. In Benue State, the frequency of the attacks and the disruption of social life and agricultural activities led to the enactment of a law that prohibits open and indiscriminate grazing and promotes ranching.
All that we did was within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As governor and as a government, it is our constitutional responsibility to make laws for the peaceful coexistence of our citizens, and that is what we have done. And the primary responsibility of any responsible government is to ensure security for lives and property of its citizens. That is what we have done. Before the passage of this law, you will recall that from 2011, there were killings all over the place. When we came in 2015, we applied dialogue, bringing the people together and trying to educate them on why we must live together. This did not succeed. We did everything. The more we did, the more crises we saw, and the more killings, the more destructions, and so on. So we decided that, well, let us look at the global picture of what is sustainable in animal husbandry. And that was why we came out with this law.
The law came into effect on September 1, 2017, with stiff opposition from cattle breeders whose contention is that there is no provision of basic amenities for grazing.
The pastoralists, what they are complaining, they are not fully satisfied because there is nothing like a creation of awareness on how they will go on the ranching. And there is no any social amenities that is being provided for the ranching land. And nobody even see the ranching land. That is number one. From the aspect of the farmers, they are thinking that it is the only solution that will end the clash between them and the pastoralists. Therefore, if the pastoralists can ranch their cattle, the farmers, they can be able to do their farm very well.
But the Benue government argues that cattle breeding, like farming, are private enterprise.
we did our research, and all around the world, cattle business is not government business, it's private business. And so it is not the responsibility of government to provide ranches for the people. Ours is about policy, it's about regulation, it's about monitoring to ensure compliance of the law. It is very simple. You want to stay in Benue State, you can stay irrespective of your ethnicity background. You are free to stay here, but you must ranch. And so you can choose a site where you can have water. You can choose a site where you can have easy access to feeds for your animal. And it's as simple as that. It is not our business to go into procuring land or constructing a ranch for anyone. The law is very clear about this. All that government does is to receive applications of those who want permits to do their ranch, and that is done. So that is where we are.
But many in Benue State believe that the federal government does not buy this argument, giving its slow reaction to the killings and reinforced by recent controversial comments of the defense minister.
The remote course is part of the grazing route. Hereby we are in this country, right from independence, there are cleared routes where people pass. The issue of arms is all over. In that killing you are talking about, there are also militias that they also did the killing. Some people were caught with arms and they call themselves forest guard or whatever with AK. There is nowhere in this country where arms are allowed to be carried apart from legitimate security forces. So anybody that is carrying any arm is illegal. Militias were caught in the same land doing the same killing. So the killing is not done by any particular group. It's a communal issue. That is why I say militias. I say militias. Militias are part of the this illegal immigrants. They are. They are the people.
Nigeria, with a population of 200 million, is not the same Nigeria that you had in the 50s, when cattle routes were designated and grazing areas were designated. Then, in the 50s, you had a population of less than 40 million. The land was the same, 923,000 square kilometers. Today, the land has not increased. We are over 200 million by estimation. But the land is not even up to the 923,000 kilometers because of the ceding of Bakassi to the Cameroons. So, human activities have taken up everywhere: federal roads, marketplaces, settlements, hospitals, schools, and all that. So where is the land? So we must migrate from the colonial or the nomadic way of thinking and doing things. It is impossible to think that you will live in the 50s when you are living in 2018.
Apart from the killings and displacement caused by the herdsmen attacks, a major casualty of this phenomenon is Nigeria's bid to revamp agriculture as an alternative to the dwindling value of oil as a source of national revenue. A crucial example is yam export. Most of the yam exported in Nigeria's recent experiment with international yam trade came from Benue State. The project meant to continue this harvest season may be threatened by lack of supply, no thanks to the sacking of farmers from their communities.
When the herdsmen attack became intense, especially on the 1st of January, when the last one happened, where about 73 people were killed. Usually for yams around Benue, that is the harvest period. Harvesting will normally start around December and then conclude early late January or early February. The challenge with the attacks were that in most cases, most of these people keep their yams in the farm. And when these herdsmen come, what they do is they just cut the yams. They call it indomie for the cow. Somebody from Nasarawa just told me that, of recent, I never knew the indomie version for cow is yam. And then they'll just cut everything and give the cattle. That, in a way, will affect what come into the market.
Other crops grown in Benue State may also be affected unless a lasting solution is found, and quickly too.
The Fadamatri rates Benue, especially Guma local, this my local government, Guma local government, as the highest producer of rice in Benue State. Because we have water in every place. We have a lot of Fadama land. So it is very easy to cultivate rice here. We are getting a lot here. And if you go to the market now, you will see rice that have been heaped there by IFAD. This Olam, they are the people buying the products from us. If you go to market, you will see the number of bags of rice that have been bought by Olam. They have not even bought anything, not even 1/4 of the rice. Then these people struck.
The impact is massive. I'm afraid. I happen to be a member as a person and then as a state of the Zero Hunger Program of the UN. And I'm afraid that all the plans that we did in a state that the economy is driven by peasant farmers and supported by the civil servants, are in a situation where the resources are not enough to take care of the 7.8 billion naira wage bill that we have. So salaries are not paid as I went there. Because what comes in from the Federation account and what comes in as RGR is not enough to cope with the 7.8 billion naira. And so actively, Benue State economy is supported by agriculture. Now with this displacement, at the height of when people were harvesting their produce from the farms, and now they are displaced, and the farms are left at the mercy of herdsmen who have immunity in this country, Nigeria. It's amazing. I used to think that, and what I read, if my eyes did not fail me, immunity is the prerogative of Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Governor, and Deputy Governor. Today, it's not in the Constitution, it's not written anywhere, I've not seen it, but herdsmen in Nigeria have immunity to carry AK-47 or AK-49 or AK-100. But no one apprehends them.
Guma local government area has become the hotspot for herders and farmers' conflict because of its great natural endowment, vast land area, and the presence of major rivers, the Benue, Katsina Ala, and River Guma, from which the local government gets its name. These factors make it attractive to cattle herders, but during the dry season, the grasses dry up and the water bodies recede. Tributaries from the main rivers like this one dry up too, worsening the struggle between herders and farmers.
Sometimes the farmers, the community people use water, use the river to fetch their own drinking water, and it's the same water the animal used to drink. And whenever the animal, that is the cattle, went to the river and drink the water will be contaminated because of their leg. So the water will be damaged. The community people have to wait for some certain period of time or hours when everything is pure. When the water turns to pure, they will now go and fresh. also is another fact that causes problem between the farmers and the pastoralists, lack of water.
The over 60,000 persons displaced by the herdsmen crisis in Benue are mainly farmers. There is no doubt that the displacement of that number of people from the country's agricultural workforce, especially at harvest time, will have a telling impact on the crop output this year. This is yet another reason for urgent federal government attention on the worsening killer herdsmen crisis and the modernization of agricultural practices in the country. That's Farmers Market for this week.